Good morning. Cell protection in Calc. So what's cell protection? It's a mechanism that allow preventing modification of a cell, that allow hiding said cells or hiding their formula. You just want to display the result of that secret calculation you have been making, or hiding cells when they are being printed. So when you have a document with a protected cell that you open in Collabora Online, you get that message if you try to edit the cell, but there is nothing else you can do, at least until now. So until 2305.9, I think, just get the latest. You could get that alert, but before that version, you couldn't change that set protection. And you couldn't even protect the sheet, which is the way the whole mechanism is enabled. Protecting the sheet is what triggers protecting the cells, otherwise nothing is protected. So we decided, let's go implement it. How much work is it? So the good news is the feature is already in Collabora Office, the desktop application, so LibreOffice as well. And that's where the message you saw came directly. We need to implement this. We need to be able to have the cell protection tab in the cell properties dialog, which is how you enable that option to protect a cell. And the sheet protection dialog, which is how you enable protecting the sheet, which triggers that cell protection. And then various UI elements, menu toolbars to be able to protect the sheet, etc. And displaying the status, which is a little lock in the tab bar to indicate that the sheet is protected. So the cell protection tab in the cell protection properties, you right click on a cell, you get format cell, and you get that dialog, and there is that you see there is that cell protection tab. That's what was added. So to do that in HelloKit, which is the backend part, we basically remove the code that explicitly removes the tab that was disabled. So we have re-enabling it. We remove code, that's good. And then that's it. So like we have 6 lines that were, we remove 6 lines of code, added 2, and we have like more feature with this code. That's, to me, that's a win. Then sheet protection. You have to add the protect sheet command. It's not visible, so we add it to the menu. It's also added to the classic menu if you have the classic UI. You add it to the notebook bar, and you bind it to the command protect, which triggers the whole thing. Right click on the tab, protect sheet, nothing happened. That's what we saw. Oh, so we need to block something else. Well, we just need to enable the dialog UI file in the build on HelloKit. So we remove we had one line saying, yeah, we're gonna need that dialog, and then we rebuild, and it just did work. So protect sheet, you get that dialog, protect sheet, etc. You click OK, and suddenly your cells can be protected. A few other bits. So how do you know the sheet is protected? Well, you have that little lock. So that's a bit more complicated. We need to actually get the information when we query sheets for the UI. We get a list of sheets, but we didn't have any indication whether they are protected. So we have to add that on the HelloKit side. It gets sent to the WSD server that and in the UI we just, so it's protected. Let's add that little lock. There were some final touches, yeah. We made sure the sheet, when the sheet is protected, that some UI commands are not available, so we cannot remove or rename the sheet because it's protected. Another thing, the dialog was not async. This is a performance problem in general. It didn't prevent from working, but I made it async as a later step so that we can all enjoy something that's not blocking when somebody decides to protect the cell. And we had some adjustment to do in 2404. We saw earlier in Calc presentation about Calc about the password strange dialog. Well, there was that same feature in the sheet protection dialog. That was a new widget. So I had to implement the missing widget in 2404 so that the display works. And yeah. So conclusion, I mean, it was easier than we thought it would be. Just touch 3 different modules, 3 different languages, C++, JavaScript, CSS, and then in the end, it was just a success. And kudos to the JS dialog framework and other things that made this very much simpler than it was looking. Thank you.